Welcome to the castle, everybody. This is Nightsaber Z42, and this is Character Vault, a series where I go through the entire process of creating a character from start to finish in various RPG books. And today, we're going to be creating a character for Shadowdark, the RPG. This is an OSR type game, so expect either a lot of death and destruction or fun times, or a bit of both. So, let's pop this book open and see what there is to be seen. Character creation starts on page 14. It's right up front in the book, which I actually really enjoy. There are actually two different ways to create a character. The first is to grab some level 0 characters. And yes, that is plural because you're only going to be taking one out alive for whatever situation you have. So, expect a lot of luck. The only thing about these 0 level characters is you can have a choice of Ancestry, you get some stats, you get hit points equal to your con mod, and you can basically use any gear, which I find highly hilarious. Because once you get to level 1, that gear list becomes very restrictive to your class. The other way to create a character is, of course, to start with level 1. So you might have a character who's already gone adventuring, and this is where you would start. So first level characters start with some stats, ancestry, class, talent roll, hit points equal to one roll of their class's hit points die, plus their con mod. These also would replace hit points to a level 0 character, so you don't actually get to add those. It just straight up replaces. We also get a background, a choice of alignment, a title, and some starting gear. So the first thing that we need to do is determine what our stats are. Like any other fantasy type game that's built around Dungeons & Dragons, I suppose, there are 6 different stats. We have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And what we're going to do is take 3d6 and go right down the list, starting with strength. So we've got our d6s here. Let's see what we get. We have, ooh, that's actually really good, a 14 for strength. Uh-oh. And I say uh-oh because I've actually already planned what my ancestry and class are going to be, and I don't know. Well, we'll find out what happens. Here's our second roll for dexterity. That is a 9. For constitution, we have, that is a 7. How about intelligence? Intelligence. We need some intelligence. That is a 13. How's about some wisdom? We actually don't need wisdom. Don't give us any wisdom. 8 and 3, that's 11. And last but not least, the dump stat for pretty much everybody, charisma. Yep, 5. Next, we do get to pick our ancestry, and in this book we have 6. We have the dwarf, who gets plus 2 HP, and we get to roll hit points per level with advantage. We have the elf, who gets a plus 1 bonus to attack rolls with ranged weapons, or a plus 1 bonus to spellcasting checks. We have the goblin, who can't be surprised. It's actually really surprising to me. And we have the half-orc, who gets a plus 1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with melee weapon. Then you have the OG halflings, so once per day you can become invisible for 3 rounds. And then you have humans. You gain 1 additional talent roll at first level. Oh well. Of course, we're going to play as a halfling, so we do get stealthy, so once per day we can become invisible for 3 rounds. We also know common as a language, as is common amongst all the other ancestries. There isn't a halfling language in this book, it looks like, so we don't get that. Just common. Next, we get to choose our class. There's 4 different classes to choose from, and they're your standard affair. We have fighter, priest, thief, and wizard. Now, given our stats, you would probably be saying, hey, fighter, that's the way to go. You have a 14, that's a plus 2 strength modifier, so go ahead and become a fighter. Or you might be saying, hey, you're a halfling. Thieves, they're sneaky, they can turn invisible. And you would also be right. I could do that. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm a wizard. I have not made a halfling wizard yet, in any game that I've ever played. That's including Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And so we're going to start a wizard halfling. So what do we get by being a wizard? We get access to daggers and staves. We don't get any armor. For our hit points, we get 1d4 per level, plus con mod, I believe. For our languages, we know 2 additional common languages and 2 rare languages, which are on page 32. And then we can learn some spells. You can permanently learn a wizard spell from a spell scroll by studying it for a day and succeeding on a DC 15 intelligence check. Whether you succeed or fail, you expend the spell scroll. Spells you learn in this way don't count towards your known spells. And of course, there is a table of spells that we know per level. So at first level, we know 3 spells. At second level, we would know 4. And at third level, we would have access to second tier spells. So what are we going to take for our languages? Well, we know common. We get 2 common languages. So we're going to take Elvish and Dwarvish, probably the most common of them all. And then for our 2 rare languages, and there's like only 4 of them here, we're going to take Draconic and Primordial, because it was literally a roll of the dice here. The list of wizard spells begins on page 52, but you do get a description of all the spells right afterwards, and they're in alphabetical order. So if you're looking for what they do, that's where you're going to find them. So we have access to 3 tier 1 spells. We're going to be taking Light, probably the most important spell in this entire game, considering that you're going to need a torch to go into the dungeons. And for some odd reason, we only get like 1 torch. I don't know. We're also going to take Magic Missile because it's your standard spell. Everybody takes it. And we're also going to take Mage Armor because we need protection. Gosh, we're going to need so much protection. Alright, back to the wizard class section. We are going to roll 2d6 for our wizard talent. So there's only 5 options here. We can, well, actually let's go ahead and take our 2d6s and roll to see what we get. That is an 8. We gain advantage on casting 1 spell you know. And the obvious choice is going to be Magic Missile. So, forevermore, whenever we point our finger and we fling that missile, we are going to have advantage to do so. If you don't know, advantage is when you take 2d20s and you roll them and you take the higher result. So, OP, right there. And last but not least, we should probably get this one out of the way. We have to roll for our starting HP. That's going to be a D4 plus con mod roll, but if you don't remember, our con mod is -2, so it's 1d4 -2. So we will automatically always have at least 1 HP, so even if we roll 2 or under, it's still going to be 1. So if anybody breathes or coughs on us, we're dead. That is a 1, so we have 1 HP. Look at that. Your standard wizard toughness right there. We might have a 6-pack, but we definitely do not have the immune system to back it up. Next, we get to roll for our background, and the backgrounds are on page 26, so we're just going to take a standard D20 roll for this one. Let's see what we get. Make it something good, please. A 17. We're a minstrel. You've traveled far with your charm and talent. Okay, I can't even read the rest of that sentence. Not with a 5 charisma, buddy. We think we do, but not really. For our alignment, we're going to go with the standard lawful, just because. And if we take a look at page 30, we're going to see a list of all the titles that we can have. Since we are lawful and we're level 1, we're an apprentice, which that kind of sounds about right with our 1 HP. Now comes the fun part, our gear. On page 34, we have a list of gear, but for us, we get to take 2d6 and multiply that by 5 to get our starting gold. So here we go. Let's see what we're going to get. 8 times 5 is 40, so there we go. We have 40 gold to start with. So really what we're going to do is take a dagger and a staff, because that's all the weapons that we can use. We don't get any armor, so we're not going to worry about buying armor, which means our AC is probably going to be, 10? And we'll go ahead and buy a backpack so we can carry more stuff, a torch, and then we're just going to dump the rest on rations because we're a hungry boy. And so here we have our final character sheet. Something very basic. There doesn't really draw your eye towards a whole lot, but hey, sometimes you just need basic. And we definitely got it here. So our halfling's wizard's name is Romano, going on with the theme of my halflings being named after cheeses. Our strength is, of course, halfling, our class is wizard, and we are level 1. We're an apprentice who is lawful, who sort of a minstrel. No deity needed because we're a wizard. Our strength is 14, which gives us a mod of +2. Our dex is 9 with a mod of -1. Our con is 7 with a mod of -2. Our intelligence is 13 with a +1 mod. Wisdom is 11 with +0. And our charisma is 5 with -3. Oh my gosh. Our HP is at 1. Good luck, Romano. And our AC, I believe, is 10. We do have a dagger, a staff, and a whole lot of rations, and about 35 gold pieces, give or take. I just did a rough estimate there. And we do have some spells. Light, mage armor, and magic missile, which always gets advantage, which I should probably write down because that is going to be what keeps us alive in the long run. So, that is Romano, the wizard halfling. Wish him luck as he braves the Shadowdark. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I want to see, go ahead and comment how many days or dungeon dives you think he's going to survive. And give this video a huge thumbs up to support the series, and I will see you guys in the next video.